Hello and welcome to 7 Mistakes Stopping You from Achieving Your Goals. And thank you for joining, and do let me know where you're joining from. Hello, Facebook. Please let me know which part of the world that you're joining me from today. I do like to know where people are coming from. So yes, do let me know as more people come on. So this is my first LinkedIn Live for the year. Happy New Year. I hope the year has started well. Hello from Texas in the Facebook group. It's good to have you here. First LinkedIn Live for the year, New Year. Beginning of the new year, people often set themselves resolutions and goals. And different reports, depending on where you read, different reports state different figures but about how well people are when it comes to achieving their goals. Hello, LinkedIn. Hello from Pittsburgh. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Sweden. And how yes, there were different reports state different things in terms of how people are when it comes to achieving their goals. And one which is commonly quoted, which comes from the Statistic Brain Research Institute, states that in the US, only 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolutions. And YouGov here in the UK last year, they did a survey and they found that only 25% of people who set goals at the New Year achieved them. And there's some common themes I come across when I'm coaching as to why people don't achieve the goals. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, those 7 common reasons why people don't achieve their goals. And we're fast approaching Blue Monday. How many of you have heard of Blue Monday, which is on the 17th of January? And Blue Monday is said to be that time of the year when we're all cold, we're broke, and we're riddled with guilt that our New Year's resolutions to get fit, to drink less alcohol, and to be a better human being have fallen by the wayside. And it's around the 3rd week in January, that's when people start to slip away from the New Year's resolutions and the goals that they set themselves. So how many of you have heard of Blue Monday? Hello from Maryland and hello from London. And Happy New Year to you as well, Jocelyn. And the thing is, Blue Monday only has to be blue if you allow that to happen. And hopefully by re-looking at how you're setting your goals and what you're doing to achieve them will put you in the best possible position to achieve them. So those of you that don't know me, I'm Carol Stewart. I'm an executive career and leadership coach, and I specialize in coaching introverted women who are senior leaders. And I also work with organizations to develop their talent and provide workshops, trainings, and webinars on career development, leadership development, and personal development. And I coach women to overcome things such as imposter syndrome, self-doubt, confidence issues, and the barriers that get in their way of their leadership success. And I coach them to be authentic, confident leaders who lead with influence and impact. And so what we're going to be looking at today, sorry, you have to excuse me, why it is beneficial to set goals, the 7 mistakes, which are, like I said, are common themes that I come across in coaching, and how you can overcome them. And so hopefully by the end of this session, you'll give yourself a better chance of achieving your goals this year and achieving what it is that you want to achieve this year. And if there is a need for it, I'll run a free masterclass on the 19th of January to help you get clear about how you can plan and how you can go about taking the action what's needed to achieve your goals. And this will be a very practical session. And so if you are interested, then do let me know in the comments and I will send you the details. But I will only do it if I see that there is a demand for it and that is what you want. And so why should we set goals? Well, we are goal oriented. We have goals even without maybe thinking about it. So you get up in the morning, you have a goal, which is to get yourself ready, brush your teeth, get to work on time. So that is a goal that you probably don't even think about. So we are goal oriented, and having goals helps to give us direction in life, helps us to give us direction in what we're doing, and it gives us something to aim for. Helps to give a sense of meaning and purpose to what we're doing, because we're working towards something that we are aiming for. And it also helps to keep us motivated. It can keep us motivated if you're striving for something, and you know what it is that you want to achieve, you know why you want to achieve it. It can help to keep you motivated on those days when you don't feel like it, or when the going gets tough. Knowing what it is that you're working towards can keep you motivated. And not only that, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and achievement once you've achieved it. So how many times have you achieved a goal and you've got that great sense of achievement and accomplishment? So looking at the 7 mistakes that I come across, and these are where it's someone else's goal or someone else's expectation of us, and they are extrinsically motivating. So it might be that someone has imposed a goal on you, or put a goal on you, or you are trying to live up to expectations that other people have of you. And so you think that that is what you need to be doing. And that's number one. Number two, where goals are not realistic, so they're unrealistic and they are not specific enough. And as a result of that, not giving yourself the what it is that you need to achieve it. So when you're wanting to achieve a goal, oftentimes it involves creating new habits. And so not necessarily factoring that into how you're going to achieve the goal. Becoming overwhelmed by it. So letting yourself get into an overwhelm. Sometimes if the enormity of a goal or the uncertainty can make you feel overwhelmed. Doubting yourself and self-doubt. Can I really do this? Who am I? Am I kidding myself? And not having that belief in yourself that you can do it. And what I call shiny object syndrome. And that is whereby we let distractions get in the way. We see something we think may give us a shortcut to achieving what we want to achieve. So we become distracted and we go after that, but it doesn't get us there any quicker. Procrastination. Procrastination can set in and we delay what we need to do. And people who procrastinate are said to be less wealthy, less healthy than people that don't procrastinate. And losing the motivation, particularly if things become boring, or you just don't seem to be getting anywhere or building momentum in getting to where you want to get to. So can any of you relate to this? And if so, do let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of what I've said, in terms of those are things that you see in yourself or you see in people that you know when it comes to their goals. So in order to address these, we look at, so first of all, when it comes to it's somebody else's goal or it's extrinsically motivating, when you're thinking about the goal, it's about looking at what it is that you want. Now, we can often go through life with other people's expectations on us, what we think that we should be achieving, what we think we should be working towards. But we need to look at it as well, what is it that what we really want? And setting intrinsically motivating goals gives you a better chance of achieving them. And intrinsically motivating goals go to the core of what is important to you. So thinking about what are those things that really matter to you, what is important to you, looking at your values and aligning your goals with your values will make it more intrinsically motivating. So you may have a goal that, say, you want to be earning over, say, 150k a year. That in itself is an extrinsically motivating goal. If it's around money, it's around things. But if you look at, well, what is the reason why you want to achieve that sort of income, and attach it to align it to your values, it's going to be more intrinsically motivating. So an example could be that, so if that is the goal that you set yourself, you want to be earning 150k, 200k. It could be because when you are earning that sort of a income, it enables you to have more freedom. It enables you to provide for your family. You may have children. It enables you to give them a better standard of living. So thinking about aligning your goals to your values and what is important to you and what really matters. So I've got a comment here that let me just read out. I can relate to shiny object syndrome. I like many things and I jump from one to one. While that helps me relate to things easier at the job, it's hard to specialize in something. Thank you for sharing that. So what are the things that really matter to you? What is important to you? And when I talk about other people's expectations, I'll give you an example. A client who was feeling a bit unfulfilled, dissatisfied in what she was doing. And when we sort of peeled back what was going on, she'd always been trying to please her parents. And her parents had got certain expectations of her. And even as an adult, a grown woman, it was as if she was still trying to please her parents rather than thinking about what was really important to her. And once she was able to recognize that, she was able to then look at, well, what does she really want? What is it that she wants? And then make goals, set her goals in alignment with what it is that she really wants. And using another example of how to align something to your values. So you may have a goal that you want to become you want to be in the C-suite, you want to be on the executive committee. And that in itself might not be intrinsically motivating, but aligning it so you may want to make a difference. You want to maybe be able to have an impact. That might be something which aligns to your values. And so by aligning that goal to that, being able to make a difference, being able to make an impact is going to be more intrinsically motivating. So set intrinsically motivating goals that align with your values. Set SMART goals. I'm sure you've all heard of the SMART acronym when it comes to setting goals. If you haven't, then do please let me know and I'll break down what it is. But setting yourself SMART goals, the goals which are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And also when you're looking at whether your goals are SMART, is factoring in, well, what is needed to achieve that goal. So it's one thing setting a goal, but if it's not realistic, then how are you going to achieve it? And that in itself, if you're setting yourself a goal which is unrealistic, that can cause you to then drop that goal, to not work towards it, and then become discouraged. And also thinking about whether you have to create new habits, because creating new habits, depending on what the habit is that you want to create, may not happen overnight. And it may take time to develop a new habit, create a new habit. So building those factors in, what is needed to achieve the goal, being realistic about it, being specific about it, and also how you will measure your progress towards achieving it and when you've actually achieved it as well. And if you need to create a new habit, what do you need to do to create that habit? What's needed to create that habit? So one of the things that I'm working on this year is my health and fitness goals. I don't know if you read my article, my Quietly Visible newsletter from last week, where I wrote about whether we are, I talked about how we are letting those things which we're sort of we're sabotaging our long-term success because we're wanting that instant gratification. And towards the end of last year, I started on this fitness boot camp, which involves, a lot of exercise, a lot of moving. And so I'm having to create some habits because I've been working from home for the past couple of years now, even though I worked from home a lot, not moving a lot during the day. So I'm having to create new habits and move more, I'm not having to commute, I'm not having to walk to the station or things like that. So it's about building in those new habits. And what's one thing that I've been doing over the past few months is creating those new habits, which is something which is an ongoing thing, because it's not something, some of it is not things which I would just do automatically. So thinking about how you can create those habits that support you in achieving your goals. And if you're finding things overwhelming, which can happen, you want to achieve something and you set that as a goal, but then you become overwhelmed with it, break down what is needed. So get clear about what is needed and break things down. And you may find that sometimes focusing on the big goal can feel overwhelming. And so rather than focusing on the big goal, break it down into manageable chunks, because that will help to take away some of the overwhelm. And at the beginning of the year, once I sat down with a client to look at what she wanted to achieve that year, and she wanted to make some big changes. And so when I sort of asked her whether it would help if she plotted in her calendar some of the things that she needed to be doing, I could see that initially that her body froze. Her body language told me that that was too overwhelming for her. And so what I did was I asked her whether it would help if, rather than we look at the whole year, we break it down per quarter. So having the big goal in mind, having the vision of what it is that she wanted to achieve, but breaking it down to quarterly and then mapping out what needed to be done quarterly. And I could see the tension release from her body, and she felt so much more at ease about doing that and more confident about doing that as well. And it didn't seem so overwhelming. So look at what is needed for you to achieve your goals. And if it feels overwhelming, break it down, looking at, well, what are the steps that you need to take? What are the milestones? And what is the support that can help you to achieve that as well? If self-doubt is an issue, then look at what your beliefs are about yourself and what it is that you need to do. Oftentimes we set ourselves goals. We want to get promoted. We want to get a new job. We want to change career. We want to do something different. And we believe, well, that is what we want. But then when it comes to actually doing it, self-doubt can creep in, and particularly if you're not seeing results as quick as you would like. So it's about addressing your self-doubt and your beliefs about yourself and what it is that you want to achieve. And also identifying whether it is and some of you may have read the newsletter article that I did a few weeks ago about whether it's confidence or competence that is the barrier to you achieving what you want to achieve. And recognizing, is it that you lack the confidence in it? And if you do lack the confidence, how can you get that confidence? Or is it that it's a competence thing and you need to develop skills or get some experience or something else in order to achieve it? So address any self-doubt, any beliefs that you may have about yourself, telling yourself, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I'm not capable of doing this. And look at, rather than just writing yourself off, look at, well, what is needed for you to achieve it, and breaking it down. Look at your beliefs and how helpful they are and how real they are, and put things into perspective as well. Now, if you're somebody who goes after shiny objects and you have a lot of distractions, I'd say eliminate the distractions. So once you're clear about what it is that you want to achieve, look at what other things that can get in the way and can distract you. And if you know that shiny objects are a thing, try and stay focused on the task at hand, rather than letting that sway you and then you're going off and chasing that shiny object and it's not getting you any further to what it is that you want to achieve. When it comes to distractions, we have so many distractions these days: social media notifications, email notifications, that can get in the way of what it is that you're focusing on. And particularly if any of the other factors are at play, like you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, you may be doubting yourself, you're not quite clear about what it is that you're doing, those distractions can sometimes be a welcome distraction because you get caught up in them, but you're not focusing on what it is that you want to do or what it is that you need to do. And if you have your notifications on when you're working towards your goal, turn them off. And have set times of the day where you check your emails, where you check your social media notifications, you check your WhatsApp notifications, but give yourself more time to focus. And those of you that read the article that I did on Friday, you will have recall that I talked about our attention span. Our attention span has diminished considerably over the years because of these constant distractions. And there was one particular research that said that our attention span is less than a goldfish. Now imagine that. A little goldfish that your kids have or you may have swimming around has got a better attention span than us. Goldfish are said to have 9 seconds attention span. We're said to have 8 seconds. So look at what you can do to minimize those distractions which cause you to delay what it is that you want to do, or they interrupt your thought process and your focus as well. So look at how you can eliminate distractions. And if you find yourself procrastinating, look at the reason behind it. When we procrastinate, there's usually a reason behind it. And it may be some of the things that I've talked about. It may be the overwhelm. It may be because you're overwhelmed. It may be because you're not sure about what you're doing. It might be that you're doubting yourself or you're lacking the confidence. So if you find yourself procrastinating, look at what is behind that. So I've had a client who she worked for herself and she knew that there were certain things that she needed to do in order to generate the work that she wanted. But she would find herself doing things like cleaning her house, getting involved in sort of, I wouldn't say mundane things, but things which were not absolutely necessary to do there and then. She would say, oh, because she's got a big house, she's got to do this, she's got to do that. But those were just a way of her delaying what she needed to do. And when we sort of unpicked it all, it was because she was a bit overwhelmed. She was doubting herself and her ability to do it. And she was also a bit fearful as well about putting herself out there and doing what she wanted to do. And once she was able to identify that was what was going on, she actually is able to address those. And she recognized that what she the time that she spent on cleaning her house and doing what she was doing would be better focused on generating the work for her business, doing her business development, doing her marketing, and also that what she could get somebody, she could hire a cleaner, because when she worked out, how much she would pay a cleaner, she would earn more per hour if she got the work done and she got her clients. So look at the reason behind what's causing you to procrastinate, and then address that underlying reason, because as I said, there's usually a reason why. We don't necessarily procrastinate just for the fun of it, because there's something behind why we're procrastinating. When it comes to losing motivation, if it's taking you too long to get there, if you become bored, don't just wait until you've achieved the goal to celebrate. Recognize your achievements along the way, recognize the action that you're taking along the way, and celebrate that as well. And reward yourself for taking the action. So don't just wait until you've achieved the goal to reward yourself. Reward yourself as you take the action. And when I say reward yourself, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It doesn't have to be anything that costs money. It could just be something simple, just by acknowledging, yeah, I've achieved this, and having like a praise party for yourself. You're just praising yourself for having achieved it or having taken that action. Or it could be like having a pamper at home and having a nice soak in the bath with some candles and some nice bath oils and so forth. So it's just reward yourself along the way and have fun as well whilst you're working towards it. Build fun time into your activities that you're doing. The more fun you can make it, the more you will enjoy the journey to achieving your goals, and the more motivated you will be as well. And plan for motivational slumps. So if you know that certain things likely to trigger you becoming demotivated, plan for them. So it might be that when you are tired, that you're not as focused and you become demotivated. So make sure that you are getting sufficient rest. And if you think of yourself as being made up of four what we call energies, you've got your mental energy, your emotional energy, your physical energy, and your spiritual energy. And if you keep yourself topped up in all those areas, you're going to be at your optimal and you're more likely to be motivated. So if you find yourself depleted in one of those areas, look at what you can do to top yourself up. So it might be that you're tired, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting enough exercise, you're not going out and getting enough fresh air and walking and getting exercise. Or it might be that you are not managing stress very well. So look at how you can manage your emotions and keep yourself healthy emotionally. Look at how you can manage yourself mentally and keep yourself sort of mentally aware. Look at your mental, how you're stimulating yourself mentally as well. And when it comes to physical, as I mentioned, look at how you're sleeping, what you're eating, exercise, and also when it comes to spiritual, making sure that you're doing things that give your life meaning, and that you are connecting with you're connecting with nature. If you're a person of faith, you have a particular religious belief or a faith, that you are aligned with that, and also as well doing those, as I said, doing those things that give your life meaning and purpose as well. And also get some help as well. If you need help, get some help. Who can help you to achieve this? Who can help you to address your motivation? And also accountability. Who can hold you accountable to achieving your goals? Who can challenge you when you're not doing what you know you need to do? Who can encourage you? And who can hold you accountable? Sometimes it could be a friend or a colleague, and just becoming accountability buddies, so you support each other towards achieving your goals. Or it could be getting a coach that can help you, to challenge you, to help you get clear about those obstacles that are getting in the way and help you to stay motivated. So who can help you, and what sort of support will help you to challenge you, hold you accountable, and also to encourage you as well. And also, don't beat yourself up. If you know that you haven't done what you said you were going to do, sometimes life gets in the way. And we've all seen over the past couple of years how we may make plans, but COVID has totally changed all those plans for many, many of us. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you recognize that, well, I haven't done today what I knew I was supposed to be doing, just say the next day, okay, I didn't do that yesterday, I'll pick myself up today and I'll carry on. But don't beat yourself up, because what tends to happen when you beat yourself up is you say, oh, you beat yourself up so much that you don't continue to move forward. We all have setbacks, we all have knockbacks, but it's how we respond to those that will determine how we get through. So if you know that you haven't done something, you haven't achieved something, you've maybe procrastinated a bit, don't be so hard on yourself. Be kinder to yourself, be more compassionate to yourself, and say, well, it's happened. Tomorrow is another day, and I will pick myself up and continue moving towards achieving my goals. And so that's it for me in terms of what I wanted to share with you. I've looked at why we should set goals, why it's important to set goals, the 7 common mistakes that I come across when I'm coaching. And I've shared some techniques and tips on what you can do to overcome those as well. So hopefully it will give you, help you to get clear about some of the things that may be getting in your way, and what you can do to address them, so that you can give yourself a better chance of achieving your goals in 2022. So before I go, has anybody got any questions? Whilst I'm waiting for questions to come up, as I mentioned at the beginning, I will do a free masterclass on setting yourself up for success, where we will look at how you can get clear about what your goals are, and how getting clear about what you will do to achieve them, and creating an action plan to achieve them. And it will be a very practical session where you'll get that clarity, you'll identify what is needed, and you'll put yourself in the best position to achieve them. But I will only do it if there is a demand for it, if this is what you want. And if it is what you want, do let me know in the comments, and then I will message you and let you know the details. So any questions? So I've got a comment here from Akiba. Identify the underlying reason for procrastination. Celebrate taking action. Don't wait to reach the goal before you celebrate. Make it fun. Plan for motivational slumps. Thank you for that. So I'm going to ask you a question. What will you do going forward to give yourself the best possibility of achieving your goals this year? And do let me know in the comments what you're going to do differently, so that you put yourself in the best possible position to achieve your goals this year. Right, so what's this you've got here? To make it fun to work towards the goal. Yes, because if you can make it fun, then it's going to be more enjoyable. It's not going to seem like hard work. It's not going to be so boring, and it will help to keep you motivated. Any questions? Let me just go read through the chat to see if there's anything that I've missed. I can't see anything that I've missed. Any questions? So we're going to write them down. Keeping goals in mind doesn't work for me. Yes, I would say if you haven't written your goals down, then I would say write them down, because people who write down their goals put themselves in a better position to achieve them than people who don't. And also people who share their goals with somebody as well, put themselves in a better position to achieve them. And when I say share your goals, it's not that you have to tell every single person about what your goals are, but having somebody who you trust, who you can share them with, will help as well. Got a comment here: recognize achievements and actions. That's brilliant. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, if there's no questions or no further comments, I'll say thank you, everybody. And if you do want to attend this masterclass, then either let me know in the comments or send me a private message. If you want to you can send me a private message as well. So thank you, everybody. And I wish you every success as you work towards your goals for this year. And I'll see you on the next live session next month. And you're welcome. I'm glad you found it helpful. And thank you, and bye.